Seven Topics. Our guest at this time is Dave Young, candidate for Huntingburg City Council, opposing Gene Majors in tomorrow's primary. Dave, welcome to 27 Topics.
Thank you.
I tell you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Huntingburg. I spent 4 years in the Navy and 3 years in college. Other than that, I've lived there all my life. Had a business downtown for 10 years. I'm married to Mona Leinebach. We have 3 sons. Chris, who is a military Navy pilot with 20 years in this month. His twin brother, Kurt, is with Air Products up in Pennsylvania. And Chad is our youngest, and he lives in New Albany, Ohio. We got 8 grandkids, retired, and enjoy working outside, play a little golf, like NASCAR, go to St. Mary's Church, taught religious ed there for 5 years, belonged to the KFC, past member of the YMI, Optimist Club, and Huntingburg JCs.
Very good. You're involved in the community?
Yes.
What has been your involvement in government?
The 2 governmental positions is I spent 13 and a half years on the Board of Zoning Appeals, and then I also spent 10 years on the Southwest School Board.
And can you tell us a little bit about, your time on there?
Well, the Board of Appeals back then could be pretty rough because a lot of the people requesting mobile homes before the ordinance was fully implemented. So that became somewhat of a battle from time to time. And of course, when I was on the Southwest School Board, we had probably some of the most troublesome times. We had administrators that were let go. We had reduction in staff of teachers, and we flirted with state control of the system because of the money situation. So we weathered all those issues, and as far as handling pressure, I felt that the board and myself handled the pressure pretty good because it got pretty tough for a while.
What are some government issues or programs that the city has now or that have developed over the years that you agree or disagree with?
Well, there's several of them that I agree with, one of which is the working with the older citizens. Well, I say several. That's really the one that I feel the strongest about. The issues that I don't agree with from the standpoint of, and I don't have the answers at this time, but once you get on a board and you start digging into it, then you start finding ways around it or to solve it. One of the things I want to see is pride back in the city. And when I'm talking pride in the city is people taking care of their homes, eliminate the multi-family in single dwellings, to try to get the homes occupied rather than sitting idle, making the city look nice as you enter and exit. So pride in the city. Communities around us, I feel, have a little more pride than we do. Utilities is a big issue, especially for fixed income people. Taxes, and again, these are things that I want to investigate and try to find ways around. And then the other thing is money being spent without it actually being in the account. Grants are great, but grants don't pay for 100%. So, I feel the city has spent some money that the citizens are going to end up through taxes paying for the balance of it. And then the other thing I'm very adamant about is I feel that the power in the city should be in the city council's hands. And I'll feel that way if win or lose. So that's my issues with the city.
And those, are issues that are ongoing now and probably issues that you're concerned about for tomorrow?
Yes.
Are there
absolutely.
any other issues there?
Not really right now. I mean, I'm sure there is, but these are the 5 key areas that, as I've told people, the only promise I'll make to you is that I will investigate and try to get to the bottom and solve them. Utilities is a tough nut to crack, I'm sure, but there's got to be ways to level it, and that's one of the things that I will work hard to do.
So how do you feel about the improvements and in the utilities and the electric department? I think they've been going on.
Well, the electric department, of course they've put the new the lines in. I think it's stabilized. There's not near as many power outages as we used to have, and of course, dollars and cents. And I'm aware that inflation is going to raise it. It's just a matter of how much it raises it that I'm concerned about. So.
And then they upgraded the water utilities.
Yes, right. So.
And I guess some work in the parks and a new park.
The parks, that's one thing that I am very pleased with. We've got 3 or 4 nice parks for people. I use them because I like to walk. I have to walk because my doctor says I should.
We all should.
Yep. And so the main city park is a very nice facility. And I was walking. I think it was Sunday afternoon, and there was probably 10, 15 families down there having the kids were playing, and the rest of the family was having a cookout, and it's a nice facility for our kids. And not only our kids, our people, period.
Is there anything else there that you would like to dwell on a little bit of the subjects that we talked about? Parks, schools,
well, the
streets,
school, I think facility-wise and instructors, teachers, whatever, is probably in pretty good shape. Although our state scores do not show that, but I think we all know why. We have a Hispanic factor in there that I'm sure affects our overall rating in the state. But all in all, I think schools are good. We've got a few industries that are doing well. The foundation is there. We just need to build on it.
Do you see, what kind of growth do you see in Huntingburg?
As it stands right now, I don't see much growth, population-wise. And industry-wise, I don't see it right now. And that's, again, corporations look at utilities, they look at schools, they look at taxes, they look at tax relief that they could get. Unless you got it out on the table, I don't see us getting any.
What would be one of the first things you would do if elected?
Well, like I say, the first thing I'd do is put the power back in the city council. And the second thing would be start looking into the issues of utilities, taxes, and pride.
We're down to roughly 3 minutes.
Okay.
You can tell the viewing audience why it is important to the citizens of Huntingburg to vote for you tomorrow.
Well, the main reason I'm running is, like I say, to find out the background on the issues that I raised earlier in this program. And what I need from you is your support to help move Huntingburg forward. And I think I've got the ability to do it. It's just getting the opportunity to do it. I won't make a promise that I can't keep, and I think enough of you, the people that know me, know that this is true. That's about it.
Anything else?
No, just encourage the people to get out and vote, and of course, vote for me.
It looks like your precinct is the only primary this year in the
the
county.
only one.
So,
And I've caught a little flack over that, but it is still the American way.
It's the American way.
So,
and Dave Young, we want to thank you for being our guest on 27 Topics.
it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, welcome to 27 Topics. Tomorrow is Election Day, and today we have the guests who will be up for election tomorrow in the 3rd precinct of the city of Huntingburg. Jean Majors, welcome to 27 Topics.
Thank you, Paul. I'm happy to be here.
Well, it is a pleasure for us to have you here.
Thank you.
And the thing, that we want to know is a little bit about you. Mm-hmm. So maybe you can tell us just a little bit about you and your involvement in the community.
Well, as most people know, I was a realtor for 30 years, and before that we were in the auction business. So I've really been exposed and in contact with a lot of the people. I mean, you acquire a lot of friends, maybe a few enemies, I hope not, but I do feel that I have been in the public's eye and I've dealt with people all of my adult life. I did go to business college, and of course that was several years ago, and as a realtor I ran into so many different kinds, and I really did acquire a lot of friendships there which were on both parties, because that was not a political thing in any manner, and I know I have friends on both parties. Therefore, I have always tried to be a bipartisan councilwoman, because I think anyone should vote for the good of the community and not for a political party. So that's the way I've always stood.
Well, I think that we want to do what's best
Exactly.
for all the citizens of the community.
Yes, definitely.
So how long have you served on the Huntingburg Council?
Almost 7.5 years. I'm in my 2nd term.
What are some of the government issues and programs of the past, that you're most proud of during your involvement?
Oh, Paul, we've accomplished an awfully lot. First of all, the infrastructure was terrible. Some of the lines were over 100 years old, and they were so badly deteriorated. We've installed miles of new sewer lines and water lines, and the new filtration plant was built, and that's up and running. And, some people complained about that, but that's been a very good move, because that old plant was so old and obsolete, it would have cost the city tons of money to try to maintain it or to even remodel it. And we had gone to other plants where they had either built new ones or had remodeled. And one of them was up at Crane, and they had remodeled theirs, and the gentleman there said, I would advise to build a new one rather than trying to update your old one. So that's been done, and that's up and running, and there's a lot of modern technology involved in that, which helps us have a much, much better quality of water because there's less chemicals used, and it's just a good thing.
Well, the one thing about the treatment plant being new probably is the fact that there are so many more regulations.
Right, there
that you have
is.
to follow
Yes,
today.
and proud to say that ours has exceeded in all of those. We have a very good record in the past.
So on the major infrastructure, you've done quite a bit.
Oh, yes, and then there's been an update in the electric because we have the loop around Huntingburg now, which is a 69K loop, it is enabling factories to have more power where they needed it. Some of them were really having some difficult times. So this has helped tremendously. We've just really improved all of the electric, all of the water, all the sewer. It's just amazing what all has been done that few people realize.
I know it goes on without.
It does.
You know, you're doing your daily thing, and and all of a sudden, you know, I mean, this is going on without.
That's right.
You know, it's just second nature almost.
Right.
It's really good to bring that to light.
Well, thank you.
You know, in those issues, and then probably there were anything to the parks and.
Oh yes, the parks have been improved. Southside Park down below me they've done an awfully lot of work this year, and it's really looking nice. And I'm real proud of our parks because I think we have some of the best in the area, and our park department does a very good job of maintaining, and I just really am proud of it.
And I guess there's a new park opening.
Yes, there is in the future.
So, that is really neat.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the issues that we need to work on here coming up in the future? What are issues facing that?
The most important right now are our property taxes and our utilities, because everyone realizes that they're high, and this is very difficult for people, especially those on fixed incomes. And I'm concerned about this. We are searching every possible source to find less expensive suppliers for both departments, electric and gas. But not only is it the suppliers, but the transportation of this. People don't realize what is really involved. And everyone knows petroleum products have risen this, gosh, it's outrageous. Look at your gas, the gas pumps. Well, the same thing applies to natural gas, city gas, and it's just been a real headache. It's a nightmare. And it's really hard for people to understand exactly what we go through to try to get these things better. And it's an important issue. And I've been in contact with our legislators on the phone, email, and everything else in regards to our property taxes, because something has to be done. We all know that. It's just a matter of getting it done. And that's another reason I would like to stay on the council another term, because the people that's on the council now that have diligently worked on these items have contacts. And therefore, I think it's going to require we who do have those contracts to try to get these things fulfilled and carried out. Because the first 4 years on a council, you think, well, first of all, you go in there and you think, oh, I'm going to change the world. Paul, it doesn't happen like that.
There are rules and regulations.
There are rules and regulations, but that's the people's thought. I was like that. I thought, oh, well, yeah, I can do this and that and the other, you know. Well, actually, the council does not have that much power, but I do serve on the utility board, too. And this is where we can dig in and try to find the right things. And that is exactly what some of us are very dedicated to and trying at this time. So, you know, it's going to be rough.
So you are on the utility board. You mentioned some of the utilities that you were involved in. And of course, you know, there's always problems facing that there.
Yes.
So on serving on that board, as far as utilities goes, is there any major thing that you're working on now?
Just trying to get those prices down. And another thing that I'm really proud of, and I don't know if you've been through Huntingburg in the past week or not, but we finally have received money from EDIT to improve sidewalks and some street repairs, and we're doing a tremendous amount of that work, and it's really an improvement because some of the sidewalks, well, actually I was afraid to walk on them, and I know a lot of other people were. So if you drive down Main Street, you're going to be amazed at the work that's being done.
Well, the thing about Huntingburg and in a lot of their areas, they have their sidewalks and they have giant trees.
Right.
And those roots have played a role in uprooting the, raising the sidewalks.
That's true. Some of them were probably a foot high.
And I noticed that, there is a lot of new concrete being poured.
Yeah, there is.
And are they trying to preserve those trees?
Some of them are coming out. Some of them have to. And I'm a tree lover. I hate to see trees destroyed. I drive through the countryside and see where farmers, and I'm not knocking farmers, but I can see where they have bulldozed trees out, and I could almost cry, because trees are another great filtration for our air.
Oh, yes.
And if too many of them are gone, then where are we going to be?
And as a council woman, there is always the business district.
Yes, and that's a very important factor. We're noted basically for our unique shops and, our historic areas. And I've always been proud of the fact that Huntingburg has some of the most beautiful historic architecture that you'll find anywhere. We have some homes, and they're not all on 4th Street, unfortunately. I wish they were, so everyone could see them when they're passing through. But the merchants have really tried to keep things going. I wish that we had a little more normal retail, but these big chain stores have eliminated a lot of that. But fortunately, we have some good merchants that are really putting their heart and soul into this to make 4th Street a success. And I'm really proud of them for doing that.
There's several other things as far as the utilities go and the taxes. What are we working on to try to lower property taxes? The legislature just convened, but we don't know really what is going to play a role in that.
Well, Paul,
there has been a little discussion and an uproar about the taxes.
As far as our city is concerned, and this again, it's been difficult for a lot of people, but a lot of employees have been cut down, and we have more part-time employees, which saves some money. It's making it tough on the employees that are left because their workload has changed tremendously. Mm-hmm. But it is also saving some salaries. Now, our taxes for the corporate city of Huntingburg is really not that bad. As everyone knows, unfortunately, over half of it goes for the school corporation. Mm-hmm. So the city itself is not that bad on taxes.
Mm-hmm. Jean, we have roughly 2.5 minutes left.
Well, that went by quickly.
Well, it does. But why is it important for the citizens of Huntingburg to vote for you tomorrow?
Well, Paul, I have always tried and have maintained my integrity and work for the people. I won't mislead them on things. If I can't help them, I'll tell them, and I won't just tell them something to please them. I think, like I said, I've had the experience and the know-how, and it does take a while to acquire that. And I get calls from everyone in town, other precincts, not just mine. So I feel like they do have confidence in me, or they wouldn't be calling me from other precincts, because they all have a precinct person, a council person. So that makes me feel kind of good. And I just think that the citizens need me to stay on there one more term, and that'll be it. But there's just some things that I've got to see completed, and I will work hard for those citizens of Huntingburg, because after all, they're the ones who elected me. And they are the ones I'm interested in most of all. I serve on a lot of other committees in the city, the Street and Alley and this Engage Committee, for making Huntingburg a better place for senior citizens. And I'm on the Plan Commission and various committees, plus a lot of them at my church, which keeps me busy. But I think that's good. And I may be getting older, but I've had a lot of experience, and experience is the best teacher, I feel. So I really do need people to vote for me tomorrow, and I hope they will.
Jean, thank you for being our guest today on 27 topics.
Thank you, Paul. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
If you or someone you know has a talent to showcase or an event to promote on 27 topics, please contact this station